There we go. My microphone was muted for a second. But they welcome into episode 23 of the Sports Ramble Podcast. As always, it's Matthew, Trey, and Garrett. And today we'll be talking about some big things going on around the NBA and college basketball. And our resident Garrett expert will be taking over that. But first, let's go over the Mavs season. We talk about them almost every time we get on the podcast, talk about the Cowboys, Mavs. But Mavs star, who was Luka, but now it's Kyrie, tore his ACL in his left knee. He will be out for the remainder of the season. And the problem with him, with Kyrie, is it's Ramadan too. We don't get Ramadan Kyrie, which that man is an absolute warrior when it comes to Ramadan Kyrie. But the problem with a torn ACL, especially in basketball, is you're not the same player. So now you're not as speedy, you're not as quick. And for someone like Kyrie, who's both of those things, yes, he's getting into that old age, but he's still pretty quick. It looks bad now for him, and props to him. I said for him at least knocking those 2 free throws, for at least going back out there knocking free throws, and a heartfelt tribute to him by Luka Doncic, sending out that hopefully that he gets better. And but yeah, man, it's just a tough situation for the Mavs, and it feels like now you got to go into full tank mode. I would assume.
Look, all right, so I wouldn't say go full tank yet. Because we got to see what Gafford, Lively, and AD injuries update. Even though, we should just, hey, you know what? AD just sit out the rest of the season. The season's over with. There ain't no choice. We're 32 and 31, and we're in a deep hole right now. Because Phoenix might go on a winning streak right now because they just came back from 22 down to beat the Clippers on Thursday night. So Tuesday now, I'm sorry. So they're kind of we're kind of in a deep hole right now in terms of standings. So, but at the same time, the players, they don't want to tank. But secretly, the coaches don't want to tank either. So they're kind of in a tough spot because the players that we have, they're really give it their all every game. And I just feel bad for Clay because Clay's is there now. Clay's just chilling because he signed there to play with Luka and Kyrie. Luka's not even there no more, and Kyrie hurt, and AD's hurt too. Because think about it: if Kyrie didn't tear his ACL, and AD, Lively, Gafford, that was all we were missing. We were just missing our big man. If our big man came back, the roster that we had, we probably would have been straight. Probably would have made a run towards the end of the season. Probably would have made a play-in spot, and then we probably would have been 7th or the 8th seed, and then all this ball game from there. So it's all up to with the what ifs and what Matthew said. It's if this, if that. You can't go off by ifs and that no more. In this league because it ain't gonna work like that. But at the end of the day, we all blame Nika for this. Even though it's in Nika we trust. Yeah, Nika, we don't trust you because Luka on the Lakers, he been balling lately. And that's Luka that we know and love. And then you traded him because you thought he was fat. Because I get it. He starts beginning of the season. I've been watching every Luka game since he was a rookie. We all know ever since after the COVID season, he always starts slow. He's trying to get back to gaming rhythm, and then towards mid season, he gets back to Luka, and that's why it didn't help whenever he had that calf strain, and it's just a ripple effect, and ripple effect, and ripple effect, and it's and then the trade happened, and it was a slap in the face to us Mavs fans and Luka, saying we just came off an NBA Finals run, and then we just lost to a really good team in the Celtics, and then we really got better as a team in depth. We just kind of imploded, self-imploded.
Yeah,
by incompetent GM and owner.
Man, it's just rough. And then so last night the Bucks played the Mavs, and the Mavs got killed by 30 points, 137 to 107. Ever since losing Kyrie, man, they have been in a free fall. And another team that was in a free fall but has turned it around has been the Minnesota Timberwolves. They've won 2 of their last 3. They are currently sitting in a pretty good spot, 35-29, and because Ant Edwards is putting the team on his back, just like Michael Jordan did.
What a bad cat.
And Jaden McDaniels is showing up though.
See, that's the thing. Y'all got a good team, and y'all don't like when stuff hits the fan. Y'all don't like turn around and was like, oh, let's trade everyone. No, y'all just play it out.
Competent ownership.
Exactly. See, that's the thing.
Well, I don't know about that. We have A-Rod is one of our owners. I don't know how competent that is.
I would have stayed. Didn't give up the ownership. We still have Luka. We built the team around for Luka. Pretty much this was the best team that Luka has ever been with, and it just sucks because injuries happen, and it's like because Kyrie, Luka was hurt start out the season because of his wrist, but then he came back, and then Kyrie got hurt, so it was like back and forth, so like everyone couldn't stay healthy.
Well, Trey, wasn't the offense designed before they traded him? The offense was designed around him as well, around Lucas. So now Jason Kidd had to scramble to change up the offense, and now
they got to scramble again.
Yeah, and now all this injuries, it looks just like they're discombobulating. I watched half of that Milwaukee game. They played their hearts out. I give them that. But the problem is that's the problem with the NBA is you can play with your heart out, but it doesn't matter when shots don't go in. And there seemed like a lot of their offense was discombobulated. Do I think this costs Jason Kidd his job? No, this should not cost him his job. I know a lot of people say it should, but he can't control the trade. He can't control the injuries. There's nothing he can do about that. Yes, he can decide a game plan to help better the team, but at the end of the day, it comes down to the management ownerships that caused these problems and not him. That's the way I look at that. Because it's cascaded. He plays a minor role in this, maybe, but in the grand scheme of things, this is not his fault.
Okay, here's my thing. Here's my take on that. I do agree. I mean, he might or might not have a little like sprinkle of like, I want him off the team. At the same time, Luka got you to the NBA Finals, which we might not even scratch that surface no more in the next like decades.
Yeah.
It might not like I'm not even like gonna like say like not gonna like lie. It's gonna take a minute for us to go back there because we traded away a generational talent in Luka because like he eats too much, he fat. I don't care how much you eat. He's gonna drop a 30-point triple-double on you, and I don't care because like you've been watching the Laker games. I don't know if y'all been watching the Laker game. He's been doing his thing. He's like started like shooting. He's making his threes now. When his shot starts to hit, like you can't really stop him. Now he got LeBron. LeBron is running mate now. This is gonna be one of those things that like we're gonna regret. I already regret being a Mavs fan now, but at the end of the day, I still gotta cheer for them because it's my team. It's all about loyalty, which the Mavericks front office don't even know about anymore. But we're here now. These guys smile for the pain, guys.
The problem with ownership problems, like when they make a bad decision, is that they hold all the power, and so they can do whatever they want. They can fire the coach. They can do whatever. And I feel like in these kind of situations, it usually goes that way. I feel like the coach usually gets fired, unless you have a Nick Saban as a coach. But usually I feel like when there's a player problem, the team's not winning, the coach more often than not ends up going. And he wasn't the problem at the end of the day. That's the problem with GMs and ownership problems.
Yeah, I agree. I think
they have egos.
I understand like the new ownership group didn't like Luka as well.
They don't want to pay him.
Yeah, I get that, but that's the downside. It's like unless you have See, if you had Jerry Jones as your owner now for the Mavs, you guys would be paying him all the money in the world. There's a difference. See, there you go.
Oh no,
But-
man, that boy cheap. That boy cheap, man.
But you can't look at it if you look at it in terms of pure money, which is what the ownership did, it costs them. And as an owner, you have to have a balance of that, where you look at the bottom line, but you have to also look at how does this trend our players. That's why I know people like disparage analytics. I get it. I understand why, but analytics is what helps teams get to the next echelon, that next level, because you find underpriced commodities that can perform at a high rate. And that's what you found with Luka. He was an underpriced commodity that was performing at a high rate. Well, now he's performing at a high rate. You don't want to pay him because you're worried that, he might not perform at the next level. He's proven to you that he has. He's proven that he's going to carry the team if he needs to. He's going to play hurt even. And you still don't want to pay him? But yet you want to pay for a guy that hasn't been healthy in 3 years in Anthony Davis. And now you lost Kyrie. And now Clay is just out there looking lost in a sea of guys that I don't think would ever make an all-star team or an all-NBA team in their lives.
Yep.
So it boils down to one simple fact that even if you don't like a player, you still got to keep him because of his talent. You just have to.
Yep.
And unless Luka killed someone or did something completely heinous, yeah, okay, I get it, trade him. But he didn't. He just was out of shape. Maybe he was a bit moody. That's fine, but who hasn't been? Look at guys like Shaq, AI, guys that have egos top to bottom, and they still stay with their team originally. Well, maybe not Shaq as much because he moved around, but AI especially.
Yeah, speaking on Shaq, whenever I knew Pat Dumont, the Mavericks owner, didn't know nothing about basketball, he said Shaq had the best work ethic. Like, no, he did not. That's why Kobe didn't like him when he was a Laker. He was like the last years of them being a Laker because Shaq didn't care at all. Kobe cared. Yeah, he was lazy, really lazy. And then whenever Pat Dumont said that, I'm like, bro, you don't know nothing, and you are so out of touch with the fan base. It's like a slap in the face because you just pretty much like signed up for the money. Because like that's pretty much what it is. Like, hey, like we're gonna build this casino up in Irving, Texas, or in Dallas, or we might move the team to Las Vegas, which I've been hearing rumbles like, even though that might not happen, but who knows?
No, he stated. Patrick Dumont stated in February 1st, 2025 conference call that he has no plans to relocate the team away from Dallas as of right now.
See, as of right now, as of right now, the key phrase, as of right now, he could change his mind overnight. But like it's just so like frustrating as a fan for like my whole life, seeing like players like Dirk, who have played his whole career in the Mavericks uniform, and then his last year, Luka came in. I was like, oh, we got the next franchise player right here. He was like, because we thought Luka's going to retire at Maverick, and he's probably going to be like part of the best or second best behind Dirk all time in the Mavericks uniform. He might be the second best all time now because he didn't win anything here. It's so unfortunate because like if he would have stayed here a couple more seasons or the rest of his career, I'll probably see him win like 2 or 3 here.
Yeah,
at least. Because I understand because the new like NBA CBA, they created that second apron. The owners didn't want to pay him because it's going to go up to the second apron. So that's why I was like, okay, we got to trade him. So they made up that excuse, like pretty much like destroyed his character, which is quote unquote bad PR on their end. Because like don't destroy someone's character. Because that's going to burn that bridge and he ain't going to come back and play with you. And so that's my thing. That's my major thing that I got out of all of this. They pretty much destroyed like the bridge of him ever coming back here because he pretty much said like, oh, like you're fat and then like you don't care about winning.
Yeah.
And then like it's just so frustrating, man. Like
As a fan, I
as
understand. I
a
get
fan,
why it's frustrating as a fan. I get it. I truly do. Like, but teams go through this. It's just
no,
how
this
it
part of
is.
me, look, I don't think any fan I remember in all my days of watching sports, I don't see any worse week or like back-to-back weeks of like just bad like downfall of a like come down to earth moment for an organization like the Dallas Mavericks. I can go with second with OKC back in 2016 whenever Kevin Durant signed with the Golden State Warriors.
I can think of 3 right now.
Who?
Okay, so teams that have a worse week. Are we talking specifically just NBA, or are we talking all time? Because we're talking specifically NBA.
Okay, I was thinking about NBA. You can talk about all time.
So all time. Number one, if you don't, because I know you don't know hockey, Trey, and I know Garrett, you're not as knowledgeable on hockey either. When Wayne Gretzky got traded from the Edmonton Oilers to the Los Angeles Kings in 1989, the city of Edmonton mourned for about an entire year.
Oh,
If you read about like what happened, the owner received death threats. They were hanging him in public. Like they were literally like building like dummies of him and hanging him in public. I swear.
That's
They were
crazy.
burning.
That's crazy. What the?
People were selling their season tickets. They lost money on the deal. And this is a real story. If you look at the story, he received death threats. He had to move his family away because he didn't know what was going to happen. Because he traded the best player in the sport.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you traded LeBron in his prime, right? If he didn't sign Miami, but he's like in his prime, wants to stay with Cleveland forever. He wins like 3 championships in Cleveland. All of a sudden, you trade him for a package that doesn't really include much. That was the extent of the Gretzky trade. They traded him for people that weren't very good, and so people were outraged. That was number one. Number two, a team that mourned for a long time. This is going to benefit Trey, but when the Vikings traded for Herschel Walker, everyone hated the trade. The Vikings fans hated the trade because Herschel Walker wasn't very good. And then number 3, we'll say that is Luka. I'll give you Luka. Number 4 though is when they traded when Russell Westbrook was traded originally, I think to the Houston Rockets.
Oh really? People were outraged for that?
Remember how the OKC fans were mad?
Yeah. No, I thought they took it worse. He signed.
Put Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant going to the Golden State Warriors. That one was for the whole.
That was a slap in the face.
Everyone really got mad at that.
Everyone was pissed. I was like, "Oh, you so soft, you cupcake." It was bad. If I can go back and like relive like those few weeks, I would, because like it was just like so crazy. Katie was just like, I was like, you know, he sold out low key. Like it was like bad.
Yeah.
But he won titles from it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just how it is.
Even though.
Yeah. But if you guys haven't noticed, if you're watching this, you haven't noticed what I'm wearing. I know my pasty little white arms here don't help matters, but I am wearing a American Conference North Texas jersey that I got. It's a UNT Maniacs jersey that they sell usually at most games. But with that, we're going to transition to college basketball because that March Madness is really heating up now.
Mm-hmm.
We're into the final couple weeks of the season. A lot of teams now having their final home games before they go on the road. But our resident expert, Garrett, will take it away. Garrett, what do you see shaping up here as the season gets ready to close? We hit.
Well, just the way that the regular season is gone, I think we're poised for a upset-filled March Madness tournament. Talking about like Gonzaga's not ranked, UConn's not ranked, Baylor's not ranked, North Carolina's not ranked. Duke and Kentucky are really the only blue bloods that are in the top 25 right now. And so I think that March could shape out to be one of the craziest March Madness runs we've ever seen this year. But time will tell. It's just fun to watch, man. I get excited every March. Like my excitement level grows as we get closer to Selection Sunday. And it's just going to keep going up from there. 10 days away from there, Sunday, not this Sunday, but next Sunday is when we'll hit that. But I mean, what are you guys like? How are you feeling? You feel like it's going to be a crazy March, or how are you?
I'm scared to even fill out the bracket.
I'm scared too. I don't want to like you know what? Because I don't know who's gonna win. Because it's up for grabs this year. There's like no like clear winner. Because like there's a good like variety this year in all the college basketball teams here. So that's what it's like. There's no clear winner, so it's kind of tough, and it's really great competitive wise. Because all college like basketball, like there's always gonna be one winner, and like we don't know who it is.
Yeah, I wish there was more parity in terms of college basketball, because then I could, at least make a bracket that I'm confident about. Obviously, you take a couple of the 1 seeds, and you're like, oh yeah, the 1 seeds, man, those guys are gonna kill it. It's like, oh yeah, wait, they just got upset by an 8th seed. You're like, how? But to me, at least, if the teams that are in this, I don't think there's one clear like underdog story, because every team that's in there, even the 1 seeds, can be considered an underdog, especially with the teams that are especially front court loaded. And some of these teams that you said that are unranked, they could still sneak in at the last minute. So, like, if you can name like the last miracle run of a team, because I always say the NC State Wolfpack back when they won it, I think like 89, I think, or somewhere around that time. I believe that's when they won it, but that's like to me like the real last like true like underdog when nobody thought they were gonna make it. Like because you look at some teams that have won it, like, oh, it's a Cinderella run. It's like not really, because you expect them to beat the first round versus Marquette. They destroy Marquette and then move on, stuff like that. So I don't know. It's gonna be scary, because there's going to be a lot of close games. I think that's the one thing we're going to see, though, is there's not going to be any real blowouts in the first round. There's going to be a lot of close games, and I think that's the beauty of the tournament, is we're all here for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and even this week, I mean, Ole Miss hit a buzzer beater on Tennessee, number 6 ranked Tennessee, to knock them out, rush the court. A&M knocked off Auburn, number 1 Auburn, this week. I think it was yesterday, a couple days ago. They're my team to watch. A&M. They have a super senior in Wade Taylor. He's been there for a while. Got his jersey retired couple nights ago. But they've been fun to watch. They came back down from 20, I think, against Texas to beat them. So they're my team to watch. But you brought up, Matthew, the last miracle run. I'm thinking Loyola Chicago.
Oh yeah.
Back when they made
Yeah,
Sister Jean was the driving force there. Oh man, that was. I remember watching their first round game. I think it was the first round against Miami, and there's a buzzer beater at the end to tie it. Overtime, Loyola Chicago comes out on top, and they just nobody expected them to do what they did, and their coach got poached because of it. Now he's Oklahoma, but I'm excited. We're excited, and I think women's college basketball too. A little bit of the same. There's some parity. There's more parity in women's, I think, than men's. Mainly between the top 5 teams. I feel like they've been beating up on each other. Notre Dame, UCLA, USC, UConn, all those teams are kind of just going at it. And there's been no real clear number 1. South Carolina usually takes that title, but not this year, apparently. So we'll see what happens there. But what do you think this parity is good for the increasing viewership in women's basketball? I think it is. I think it's fantastic.
I agree with you.
I would love to see more. I would say I would love to see more upsets in women's basketball. I do like the parity, but if you get more upsets, you get more talking points, you get more viewership, and that can shift. Okay, hey, like we saw with a lot of like what we saw in college, you see, okay, this girl's poised to go to the WNBA. now you start seeing the shift from the viewership from the women's college right to the WNBA, which gets them more viewership, gets them more clicks, it gets them more revenue streams. So I do like the parody. I would like to see it. Like, I know some games that if you say you watch like UConn versus University of Wisconsin, like you'll see that and you're like, wow, UConn destroyed them. It's like, well, okay, we expected that. If we saw like Wisconsin upset them in the first round, oh my god, now you have more things to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to see a couple more upsets instead of like just absolute blowout games. Because again, I think we see too many of those.
Yeah.
It helps out with the viewership wise because no one wants to watch a blowout. Everyone wants to watch a really close game with like, of course, like the underdog winning. Because no one wants to watch like the same team win every year. It gets boring to a point. That's why everyone wants to root for the underdog. And then that's what's good. It's good. This very great parity for both men's and women's, especially in the women's. Because we don't know who's gonna win this year. And then like everyone's gonna be looking at USC because Juju Watkins, and she's a hooper, because like she's probably gonna be like the top women's college hooper for the next 2 years until she gets drafted. And then she's gonna be the most popular woman to play in the WNBA. If you think about it, because viewership wise, because everyone's gonna be watching her translating to the WNBA. Because that same with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese.
Yep.
Because that's what's gonna be good for the WNBA. Because the WNBA has been struggling with viewers the past couple of seasons. Now we got good, bright young stars coming from college going to the WNBA. Now everyone's gonna be watching because everyone wants to watch Caitlin Clark shoot threes.
Yeah.
Because that's why everyone loves for example, I don't mean to change the subject. That's why everyone loves Steph Curry that much because everyone I know bro's 36 and the boy's still dropping threes. He just dropped 36 the other night.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it puts butts in the seats. If you put butts in the seats, you're gonna be known for a very long time in the history books. So that's what that's really good for viewership wise. There's bright young talent in college for women's and the men's. So this is pretty much it all goes down to there's very there's no fair winner for the men's and the women's college championship tournament. So
well, it was what everyone thought was going to happen was that that Paige Bucher's girl, she was going to go to the WNBA, but now she's signed to that the 3-on-3 league. So now you might not see her in the WNBA, which she would have garnered you a ton of attention in the WNBA.
Yeah.
But because she's so good. But now she's no longer going to do that. So now it's oh, man, now you have to find some other star. And there are some stars, don't get me wrong. It's just how do you, I think the problem with WNBA is they don't market their stars correctly.
They don't. And they don't market their stuff either.
They market Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. That's about all they do. They only market Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, and they only and the problem with Angel Reese is people only market her to make fun of her because she can't. They always make those meme videos of her missing the I'm sure you've seen them where they're like, "Oh, 3-pointer," and it's just her bricking one or something like that. So, but I think if you got, I compare it to the women's professional hockey league. The reason the women's professional hockey league is doing so well right now is because they're marketing it in a way that appeals to hockey. It's hey, well, if there's no hockey games on night, come watch a women's game because you got nothing better to do. I think that's what they should do with at least where the women's, where it's I don't. Did you guys ever see a WNBA ad at all?
Not too many.
Not until the season starts.
There you go. So there you go. So that just shows you they don't have the influx of capital to support that, which they should, considering their own partially by the WNBA. Or they should at least get better ownership or ownership group, because the only teams that are really selling out in terms of getting fans to watch the games, the top three I believe were the Minnesota Lynx, the Sparks, and the
Fever.
Aces.
Oh, before.
Yeah, the top 3 selling, like, teams that have the highest revenue stream.
Okay.
Excuse me. But it's like every team. But the thing is, they're not bringing. Like, even look at the revenue stream compared to like the worst NBA team to the highest paid WNBA team. It's like still pretty disparaging. So I do think that they need to do a little bit better about marketing towards the women's basketball in college and the WNBA.
Yeah.
Try to bridge that gap. I don't know why it's not. It's really not that difficult to do.
That they tried doing that last year because remember, in the NBA 3-point contest, like NBA Saturday Night, they were trying to do the 3-point contest with Steph, Sabrina Ionescu.
Oh yeah.
But Sabrina canceled. I might be wrong, but like she didn't do it.
Mm.
If you want, like, because like it would have been a perfect, great opportunity for her to do it. Because I remember like watching her do it last year, and guess what? It increased the viewership. We're like, oh, like who is this? Because it brings a new audience to the WNBA. Because young kids don't know like the WNBA as much until like they get older, unless like we talk about it, unless that they get shown to it.
Yeah.
So it's just like my thing is the WNBA just got to be better like marketing wise. That's like the main thing.
Yeah.
No. Garrett, I mean, I'm sure you agree, and not only that, like, look at like the top players of the WNBA. Look at the players that have like been there a long time, that are like superstars in their league. You don't know who. I couldn't name you the 3 of them. That's the sad part. I couldn't name you 5. I wish I could, but I don't. If you could find a way to hook me into that sport, maybe I would watch it more. And that's the difference. You know, you got to find a way to hook, because you have a core audience, which is great. Now, how do you get the stragglers? People that, the NBA season's over. I think it'd be better if you had the WNBA season, or at least the playoffs, after the NBA playoffs. I know that's a little late in the summer, and I know that kind of contradicts with a lot of stuff. But it would be better because now all that viewership that left the NBA Finals now comes over to the WNBA. And that hooks more people. You can't – I feel like it's like the WNBA is competing with the NBA. It's like you can't do that. It doesn't work.
Don't work like that.
You guys are supposed to be in a joint partnership, but yet you're trying to, have game times almost the same time as like a Knicks-Lakers match. It's like, dude, what are you doing? I would rather watch the Lakers.
Exactly. Because here's my thing with that. Either shift the season towards like the summertime, which they do, but don't have it towards like don't have the WNBA finals like right before the NBA and the NFL starts. That's what's tough, because like the WNBA is in a really tough spot. They're in the right in the middle. Because baseball season's in the summer, like they got the NFL off season. Everyone wants to talk about NFL. Then the NBA finals, so it's kind of like they're in a tough spot. So they got to rely on other like I said, they got to market better, and of course they had to go off the NBA because they had to go off the NBA to market better. So it's kind of like they're in a tough spot.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it would look like, but like the 3-point contest is a good start. But having more joint things with the NBA and WNBA, getting the well-known players from the WNBA in kind of with the NBA players, so that you kind of see them, get them in front of your eyes. Because if you don't watch a WNBA game, you're never going to see them. So just having that exposure, I think, would go a long ways as well. And so I think, I just think they need to work together and not compete against each other. I think that's the core idea. Yeah.
And that's the one thing I will say about some of their broadcasts is like you still have these I'm not saying that they're bad, but you still have these guys calling the games for the women. You want women to want to be able to play sports, get into the field. Me and Trey know this. Mackenzie Freeman,
Mm-hmm.
she wants to be a sports broadcaster. She wants to do stuff like that. Wants to be on the air. It's hard for her. It's harder for her to get on the air because people like me who wants to be a broadcaster, I obviously get the first look, just simply because I'm a guy, and I feel bad for her because of that. And so instead of having these guys call, these women's games, have women come in, have like former players go call those games. That would look so much better for your league. Because it's like because a little girl could be watching it in the back of her TV is on and she's not really paying attention, but then she hears a woman calling the game and she's like, whoa, I can do that too. Or look at these women playing this game, I can do that too. Market it. If you market to the kids tomorrow, that would be so much better in general.
And speaking on that, the Mavericks are doing an all-women's broadcast tomorrow night.
Good.
For the Mavericks game. So, like I said, great start for all the girls that want to be basketball players. Like, hey, you got women doing broadcasting men's basketball, NBA games. It's a start. Look, and see how that goes.
Yeah, the start can be good. So now how you follow up by that start?
Yeah, exactly.
But it's just how it is. But with that, I think we've gone over our time again. This is the third week in a row we've gone over our time, which I honestly, it's fine. It's fine. If you don't like it,
for a reason.
If you don't like it, hey, look, the door's right over there. Take a walk. But I will not be. If we do another episode next Thursday, I will not be there. I will be probably in the Caribbean by that point, either drowning or not. You'll find me with my water wings on. I'm just kidding. But Trey and Garrett, if they do that, they will be the main host for that one, and I'm sure they'll have a lot to talk about. I'll be probably texting them as I go, just saying, "Hey, watching the show. Tell Trey to fix his hat. It's upside down." Someone said that to me.
It's the design.
I know someone said that to me. They're like, "Dude, his hat's all screwed up." I go, "That's the design of the hat."
It's
like,
the
no,
design, bro. Nothing wrong with the hat. It's
if you look in a mirror, it's right.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what, Garrett?
You heard it here first, folks. Go watch the show in a mirror. It's just easier that way.
Yeah.
But I think that it's been pretty productive in terms of sports. There's no shortage of sports news to talk about. And real quick before we throw it out of here, the NFL is releasing and trading about everybody. Everyone's getting traded or released.
I know we're running out of time, but DK Metcalf is requesting a trade. Joey Bosa just got released. So I'm
NFC West is in shambles right now, except the Niners. They're good. They're fine.
I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. Joey Bosa might sign with the 49ers, and I'm going to be sick to my stomach.
Bro, Bosa, that'd be crazy.
Heck yeah. I'm going to
get him on the Chiefs too.
Chiefs?
And look, Washington got better. They got Deebo Samuel.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't have to give up much to get him, really.
Exactly. They didn't give much. They didn't give up much.
He's kind of dropping some stuff there at the end of his Niner career.
He did.
Here's what the Cowboys are doing.
Well, the DK Metcalf there, Jerry Jones.
That would be crazy.
That would be wishful thinking. Even though I don't know if he's gonna pull it off, but I wish he does.
Well, they said that they've checked in on the Seattle to see what his status is in terms. So my guess is I would give up a bench player and a conditional second, and the only thing is if you extend DK or if you rework his contract, that second can turn into a first or something.
Because he's looking for $30 a year. Because we already reconstructed Dak CD's contract, so we got more cap space now.
I don't trust giving DK $30 a year.
Yeah, I know. I don't either because I know.
He's not. It's not that he's not worth it. It's just the way he's kind of a head case, so I can't really trust him.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing with me too. Which DK are we gonna get? Are we gonna get a good DK who's like just be quiet and play, and don't start nothing? Or are we gonna get the hot case DK and starts like ruining like team morale?
But you're probably gonna
Antonio Brown 2.0.
Yeah, you're gonna get the hot case of him.
Dallas
has always been egos top to bottom. You know that. Dallas is always egos top to bottom. So it's like, I hate to say it, but he's probably gonna beef with CD because CD likes to start beef.
I don't. CD's quiet. CD's like he'll talk to you whenever. Like, okay, I know like he's adamant. Whereas like, man, bro, pass me the ball. Like it's like. And then he tries to do too much, and then he fumbles. Yeah. So like, it's just one of those things where like, just play.
Yeah.
Just play. It's like there's no right or wrong to it. Just play, man.
Exactly.
Just play. Mm-hmm. It's football. It's fun. Like of course, like it's fun. It's football.
I'm surprised the Cowboys haven't really released Trey Lance yet.
He's a free agent. He going.
They need a backup. Because Cooper Rush, is he still on the team?
Yeah, he's still there.
They release him. Okay.
No, like they're both free agents, so like we're just looking for a backup quarterback. We might draft a quarterback in the draft, and then that's pretty much it's a good thing to draft quarterbacks because like, it gives Dak like, hey man.
Well, hey Quinn. Jerry Jones said if Quinn Ewers is there in the second round, they might take him. So,
you know what? I'm not gonna be mad at that. To be honest, I'm not gonna be mad.
There's no way he falls in the second round now.
It's there, but at the same time, like don't you dare do it. But at the same time, if he's there, F it.
I doubt he goes. I doubt he's there in the second round. He's probably gonna be a late first round pick, in my opinion.
Probably.
Which again, the Cowboys could still select him with their first round pick, but
that'd be so.
They need more help.
Would be a mistake.
The Cowboy. That'd be so scripted. It'd be like get in the storylines like, you went to South Lake Carroll High School. What college you go to? Oh, you went to UT. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, what NFL team you get drafted to? Oh, the Cowboys. Oh, all in Texas. How about that for a storybook right there? That's a storyline right there. Perfect.
Yeah. And Jerry loves that because it gets Jerry more money.
Yeah, exactly. But it goes back to the butts and the seats. You want to watch them? Come to the games.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But with that'll be it for today. We'll see you guys next week, where I'm sure we'll have more topics. If we don't do next week, we'll see you the week after. For Garrett and Trey, my name's Matthew. Guys, we will see you next time. Take care.